Welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Small Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, where we work specifically with small business owners with small teams who are looking to grow their businesses. And today, what we're talking about is three things. Oh, I forgot. I'm your host, best-selling author Sadon Long. So, again, what we're talking about today, what we're talking about is the three things that should be keeping you up at night. Now, I know a lot of people sitting at home like, well, why do I want things to keep me up at night? Well, as I said in the description, you get the things that you focus on. So, at some point during the night, you're going to get some ideas, you're going to get some revelations, you're going to get some epiphanies, and God's going to wake you up. Some of the best business ideas I've had for myself and clients came in the middle of the night. So before we even get started, make sure you keep a pen, pad, piece of paper, notebook, something close at hand so you can write down the things that are being downloaded into your psyche. Because what's happening when you're sleeping is that you're thinking of solutions to the problems that you're going to have to solve the next day. And that's also the time when God communicates with you. So, yeah, make sure you write that stuff down. So, before we get started with the keeping you up part of this, let's just talk about what's really going on in our business world right now. We are heading into the summer, number one. And what does that mean? That means, number one, gas prices are going up. So, we're heading into the summertime, gas prices are going up, which means that all your goods and services are going to be affected. It means that now, because they can't overcharge you for heat, they're probably going to overcharge you for groceries. So gas going up, groceries going up. Kids are at home, so a lot of your clients can't take the meetings they used to be able to take because now they're at home and their kids are at home, and maybe they got vacations planned, or maybe they have to focus more on interactions with their kids. So as we move forward, gas is going to go up, goods and services are probably going to go up, and the availability of your clients are going to change. So the question now becomes, what are you going to do about that? You know, because now people who you've been waiting on deals with, people you've been waiting to work with, people you've been wanting to call you back, can't really call you back because they got a 7-year old at the house and they're distracted, or they have a vacation planned, you know, and now they're going to take 2 or 3 weeks longer to get back to you than they were before. So those are things that are coming up that you need to be cognizant of. Oh, and with the price of gas going up because of the summertime and they have to change from the winter gas to the summer gas and they're going to pass that cost on to you, it's going to cost you more to get around. So you can't really have a whole bunch of meetings that don't close. And gas is high as, you know the word I'm going to use. So again, these are things that are going on right now. So as a business owner, you need to be aware, hey man, gas is going up, so I really can't afford to be running all over the place taking meetings that don't close. Number two, the people I'm going to be trying to close maybe have family vacations planned or have kids at home, which are then going to distract them from doing business with me. So now my selling cycle might be slower. And at the end of the day, I still got my own family who might be at home. I still got own groceries that I might have to buy because now I'm feeding kids 3 times a day, and I was only feeding them 1 time a day before because they were getting breakfast on their way to school, they were getting lunch at school, and we didn't have to worry about anything at the house other than dinner. But now you got kids waking up hungry and walking to a refrigerator, drinking up all the milk, eating up all the cereal, you know, popping up all the Pop Tarts or whatever you guys are making in your home. So even with that, there's also another reason that you have to make this thing work. I mean, my challenge to you is really sit down and be like, okay, how is summer going to affect my business? And again, at the end of summer, kids are going back to school, but maybe your clients are spending that money on their back to school. I don't care what you do. You know, if you do skincare, It's going to affect you because those people might be spending that money on a vacation. So now they're not in town to get their normal treatment, which may put you back one or two appointments a week just because the people aren't available. Mm. So whatever it is, you need to figure out how summer is going to affect it. You know. Now, for some of you, summer might actually help you. You know, maybe you do dog walking, maybe you do lawn care. Well, cool. Now, how does it affect me in a positive way? Write that list down to figure out how to get to it and do it. Because again, your kids are at home eating up everything too. You know, you want to go on a vacation too. You want to get around and have a good time and go to the day parties and the turn ups and all that stuff too. But if you don't have any sales, awkward silence. I know. So if you don't have any sales, then what are you going to do? And if your sales are lagging or if they're slowed down because it's summertime, yeah, you got to figure out how to survive. You know, and not only survive, but that's where we get to the three things that you need to be thinking about part. Okay, so here we go. First thing you really need to be thinking about and staying up at night, pondering, turning over in your mind is how do I become the number one go to for the best customers in my industry? I'm gonna repeat that one more time for my people at home. You need to be thinking about how do I become the go to in my industry for the best customers. See, here's the thing. Right now, inflation is high and people's discretionary income is low. So if you have two choices between A, customers who are struggling during this time and customers who aren't, which one are you trying to choose? Now, most of us would like the customers who aren't. You know, that inflation isn't affecting them, that rising gas prices aren't affecting them, that, unemployment isn't affecting them. Okay? And the reason you want those customers, the reason you want the best customers in your industry for you, because the best customer in the industry might not be the best customer for you, but the reason you want the best customer in your industry for you is because no matter what happens, they're still going to keep buying. You know, reminded of a story about my cousin during COVID. My cousin is a nurse, and during COVID, obviously, she was working extra. They were paying her to come to work. They were incentivizing her in every way possible. But at the same time, she was taking a lot of that money and making sure that, they had toilet paper, they had water, that they had all of their needs and resources met. And her daughter was like, man, it doesn't even seem like it's COVID. Well, the reason it seemed like it wasn't COVID is because her quality of life didn't change. She was still able to play her video games. She was still able to eat all of her snacks. She never ran out of toilet paper. She never ran out of bottles of water. So to her, her existence was not shifted very much. She was still able to turn on the TV and buy, movies and download games and things of that nature. But the reason that happened is because the person who was in charge of her, her parent, was making sure that those things were covered. And it was easier for her to make sure those things were covered from a financial standpoint because she was being incentivized to go to work. Okay. But as a small business owner, you only eat what you kill. So there's nobody just incentivizing you to go to work. It's okay. How do I pick up a phone and get a sale? Okay, cool. I'll open up the doors. Who's going to come through them? How do I shoot a video to make sure people see me and know that I'm available and I got something that they can help that can help them. So whether you're a business coach, whether you're a hairdresser, whether you're a daycare, it doesn't matter. People need to know who you are, where you are, and how to buy from you, and why it's important to buy from you as opposed to somebody else. Because there's no amount of free money that's going to come to you, that's going to make it easy enough for you to run your business, pay your people, and still have some left over for your own enjoyment. So that's the first thing. And if you start to get the customers who are not affected by inflation, in turn, what will happen is you'll be able to get referrals of other people who are not affected by inflation. Because birds of a feather flock together. You know, so if you're getting customers that are not affected by inflation, and they're referring you customers that are not affected by inflation, that means that those customers probably aren't going to your competition, which means that not only am I now moving up the ladder in regard to who has the most good customers, who has the most of the market, who has the most significant amount of income coming in, which I can then use to take care of my family, which I can then use to invest in other businesses, which I can then use to do the things that I want to do for myself personally. You know, get my hair done, go on vacation, buy a new car. Even though these houses are, the mortgages are, 50 to 60% higher than they used to be. Hell, I can still buy a house if my money's good. It's not everybody's doing bad. Some people are doing good enough to get what they want, and you want to be one of them. So, with that being said, if you get the good customers, now they're referring you good to great customers, which means your clients are happy and you're happy, and your competition is not. But here's the hidden thing that they're not telling you about. When you have the top customers in your industry and you have their friends, all the people who are not their friends but admirers of them are also going to want to be your customers too. You repeat that one more time real slow. So when you got the good customer and the good customer refers you another good customer, the people who admire them want to be your customers too. You know, if you have the mayor's wife as a client, and now she gives you two of her friends that sit on a particular board that is well respected. So now you got these three or four classy women, and they're taking pictures and they're giving you a shout out, and they're doing all this wonderful stuff, and it's your work being displayed, whether it's the dress you designed or the nails that you did or the hair that you did or the brows and eyelashes that you did. Now the people who are watching them are like, I want some of that. I want to go there. That's the in place. That's the hot place. That's the cool place. That's where the cool kids go. And if I'm not there, I'm missing out. So now you get additional business from strangers because of who your clients are. No different than somebody seeing me work with Lawan Clemens and then saying, "Well, I really respect Lawan and what Lawan's done, and he won an Emmy, and he's winning awards all over the city." And he says that Saddam was somebody who was a vital component. How can I get some of that for me? Again, I go back to you saw me at Elevate 2024. You know, since then you've seen me work with two or three other people from Elevate 2024. But if I never worked with Tammy, shout out to Is Tam, those people wouldn't have never worked with me because they would have never known me and never seen what my work could do. So when you have the clients that do great, that opens up a door for you because people want to then be like them. They want to take their advice. They want to be a part of whatever they're a part of because they see those people as the tastemakers and influencers that they are. So that is the first thing, man. How can I get the best customers in my industry for me to come to me and not my competition? Now, at a later date, we'll talk about really how to really break that down because there's some real strategies to really standing out amongst the people that you do business against. But today, we just want to really focus on what you need to be thinking. And I'm sure just by thinking about it, you're going to come up with some ideas. Okay. Number two, how do I get to work with the best people? Now, how do I get the best customers is one thing. Number two is how do I get to work with the best people? Because a lot of times when I'm sitting down with clients, because every week I'm sitting down with people, People who are small business owners with small teams, people who are solopreneurs. And when we're sitting down, they're talking about things that they're unhappy with. Maybe they would like more sales, or they're not happy with the sales that they're getting. And a lot of times when I look at, like, say, their website, for example, and the job of a website is to close customers. Let me be very clear. It is to close customers. So if I'm looking at your website and I'm going, well, looks nice, who did it? Okay. Now they're expecting me to say most of the time, oh, wow, it looks great. But usually when I ask them who did it, I want to know what skill set did the person who created this website have? Because if a website's supposed to close customers and the person who created your website has never sold anything, there are not going to be things that are going to help you sell. Why? Because they never sold anything before. So they're like, "Ooh, it looks great." But here's the thing. You spend a lot of money driving traffic, whether it be, well, money and time, whether it be using, SEO and buying and boosting ads or shooting videos. All that stuff takes time. But now if you send them to a website that's confusing and doesn't sell like it's supposed to, even if it looks good, then you're costing yourself thousands of dollars a day. And can you really afford thousands of dollars a day to just be slipping through your fingers? And then the other thing about that they really don't tell you is that if somebody goes to your site and it's confusing, they're probably not coming back again. So not only is it costing you money, it's costing you potential customers and leads that you're never going to see again because you only get one shot to make a first impression. So when I'm asking you, well, who did it? Okay. Have they ever sold anything before? Do they have a sales background? Are they even aware that this is supposed to be closing customers? Because if they're not aware that it's supposed to be closing customers, then yeah, how they're going to close customers for you or help you close customers with what they create. Same thing with emails. Has the person who's sending these emails out ever sold anything before? Do they know how to write a sales letter? Do they know how to write to sell? And what is their skill level when it comes to writing and selling? Because if you sold before, you at least then understand, hey, I am trying to get a person to make a decision in the shortest amount of time possible to do something in their best interest that leads to me being able to protect my family. So when I send this email out, it's supposed to come back with money attached to it. But if the person who's creating the email strategy and the email plan and the email cadence has never sold anything, what's their skill level on being able to write something and produce something that's going to convert to money? A lot of people do things, but they don't do them well enough to make any money. A lot of people make websites and create email strategies, but they've never sold anything. And if you're hiring them to create something that's going to be a salesperson, how does it then help you? One of the greatest assets that I have when it comes to working with clients is that I've sold. I've trained selling. I've taught selling. I've recruited. So for me, I go into it knowing that this is supposed to help my client protect their family from poverty. This is supposed to help my client feed these kids all summer. Yeah, this is supposed to help my client buy school clothes, help my client take their kids on a vacation. This is not just some vanity project that I'm creating. I am creating a way to generate revenue for my clients. And speaking of which, please go over to growingrich.com and click the Just Get Started button. You can get a free 30 with me. And guess what? We can get together and make money together. And the cool part is that you get to keep the majority of the money. Can't really think of a better offer than that, by the way. I'm going to say it one more time. Let's make money together. And the cool part about us making money together is that you keep the majority of the money. You know, that you'll still be making money even when we no longer work together. That I'll probably not get a dime from. So again, I can't think of a better offer. But in order to get to the point where you can make that money and cut me out of it, you need to go to growingrich.com. You know, I'm cool with that. You know, I just told you I'd do it for you, but it ain't free. So, but still, go on over there and get the free 30 though, because that is free. So anyway, again, how do I get the best people to work with me? Because if I'm getting people who are really good at creating websites that convert, and I'm really good at getting people who create emails that convert to sales, both of them converting to sales, and creating social media that recruits the best clients for me out of the marketplace, what's then going to happen is I'm going to see a spike in income. And if they're really good, I'm going to see it within weeks. You know, most of my clients start seeing results immediately. You know, my goal is hell, you pay me off within the first 30 days. So again, with that being said, that's going to allow you to sleep better at night. Because once you get that question answered, now there are things that you're not good at that somebody else is excellent at, and they're affecting your business in a positive way. You're not really good at building a website, but you built your own. So now a website that's supposed to be closing has been built by somebody who has no sales expense and no idea how to make a website that closes. What to say, what to do, what to put first, what to put second, what to leave out, you know, what to add. And if that's you, now you're trying to win a battle with one hand tied behind your back. Because the website works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't get sick. It doesn't call off. So if you're going to do all these lives and all these videos and you know people are going to go to the website, then why not position the website in a way that makes you some money? You know, because whatever platform you're on, whether it's Wix, GoDaddy, WordPress, Kajabi, they're gonna want their money, man. You know, so again, instead of wasting money and wasting time and doing these things that don't lead to sales, hire somebody who does. Partner with somebody who does know how to do these things so that the logical conclusion is money in the bank, which is then going to allow you, like I said, to feed these kids all summer, to take these kids on vacations, you know, to take your spouse on a vacation, to help your mom, help your dad, be the son or daughter that you're supposed to be. But if there's no wealth transfer, how do you do it? So again, how do I get the best people in the industry? Because if you get the best people in the industry to work with you, and I mean partner with, because a lot of times we're trying to hire people and we want to be people's boss. Why would I want to be somebody's boss when I could be partners with somebody? See, when you're the boss of people, that means that you do the majority of the thinking, you do the majority of the strategizing, you do the majority of the planning. So now all that stuff falls on you, which takes away from you having a good time. But when you have partners and people who have a vested interest, they come to you with ideas. Hey man, I got an idea on how to make us some money. You know, I'll give you an example. When I got money on the back end based on how much we sell, I care more about how much we sell. It's that simple. Oh, okay, cool. If this quarter you do 6 figures and I get a cut of that 6 figures, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure you hit that 6 figures. You know, I want you to make so much money that what you pay me feels obscene, but not when you compare it to how much money you made. Like, man, that person cost $50,000. Yeah, but they made you $600,000. So again, you got 450,000. They got 50. Feels obscene when you're writing a check because it's a bigger check than you probably ever written. But look at the return on investment. You know, you look at basketball, there are guys who are talking about 50, $60 million a year. What do you think those owners are making who pay them? What do you think those TV contracts are worth when people tune in to watch them? You know, if Michael Jordan's a billionaire, then what the heck is Phil Knight? You know, so again, how do I get the best people to work with me? Because that's what Phil Knight did. He got Michael Jordan. Like, hey, I got Michael. I got um, Kobe. I got LeBron. You know, whoever the guy is, I want to work with them because it makes it easier for me to get money. It's a business, people. Keep that in mind. So now the number three on things that need to keep you up at night until you get the questions answered. Because obviously, once you get those questions answered, you'll be able to sleep a lot better. And the first two, before we go forward with the third, are man, how do I get the best customers? And the second is how do I get the best people? You know, now the third thing is how do I get the best results? You know, and when I say how do I get the best results, I mean how do I get the outcomes that I want? What are the things that I need to be doing as a business owner to ensure that I get the best results? Because obviously we hire the best people. Obviously we want to attract the best customers. But now, how do I get the best results? You know, does that mean that I gotta take my hands off of it? You know, and let the people that I've partnered with do their job? You know, does it mean that I have to shoot more videos and be more available? You know, and stop canceling all our sales meetings because I don't really feel like being bothered? What does it mean for me as the business owner? Because as somebody who consults and advises business owners, the thing that hurts most business owners is lack of activity. You know, not making the right decisions in a timely manner, you know, and holding on to bad decisions or doing something about bad decisions too long. So the third thing is how do I get the best result? Because let's just say you have people you need to get rid of, and you keep holding on to them. The longer you hold on to them, the more money they take from you. The longer you hold on to them, the more business they run off. You know, you got the bad person in your store that customers are like, "Oh, she's so rude." Got to get rid of her because it's costing you present and future business. It's messing with your future business because that person is not going to refer somebody to you because you got the rude hairstylist, you know, or you got the foul mouth barber, you know, or you got the lazy wait staff. So now those people need to be gotten rid of and dealt with. And I know you're saying, well, you know, I tried to talk to them, but you pay real money every week. So why do you have to talk to people who keep cashing your checks? Huh? Why do you have to keep talking to people who cash your checks about doing their job? Makes no sense. You're a business owner, not a babysitter. You know, so whatever decision you need to make it in a timely fashion so that it does not cost you in the present and the future. You know, same thing with things that you know only you can do. You know, if you know that we have to have these meetings with the consultants and we need to have these people come in and shoot these videos, you can't keep putting it off. Your competition is not putting it off. You know, they're not going to stop emailing. They're not going to stop doing whatever it is that they do to get customers and wait on you to catch up. So every day you're not doing anything, you're falling further behind. And what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up watching somebody else live your life. You're going to end up watching somebody else execute your idea. You're going to end up watching somebody else get your blessing just simply because you sat on the sidelines too long. You know, I don't feel like it today. This is not about your feelings. This is about your mission. So if you're consistently clipping and cutting off the meetings and not showing up for the meetings and not doing the things that you're supposed to do as the head of the organization, the face of the franchise, face of the business, to make sure the business runs smoothly, how likely is it to run smoothly? You know, I've been in situations with clients where we were hot. I mean, on fire. Set numbers that nobody'd ever seen before. And then they decided to chill. I'm good. And you know what? We went from hot to cold and we never got hot again. You know, we went from on fire, sales coming through the door, market share, best customers, keeping the customers longer, them buying, referring, all of the things working that I talk about to peak, only for the client to then be like, I'm gonna go chill. And it's okay to chill. It's okay to recharge. It's okay to, refresh yourself. However, you need to still do it in a timely fashion so you can get back to it. And if you're working with me, tell me you're getting burned out. And then we could create a way to do everything that we need to get done in a few days so that you can take 10 days off and it doesn't look like you took 10 days off, which is also part of the reason you want to hire really great people and partner with really great people and work with really great people. You know, and I said hire, I know, because some people you are going to have to hire. Some people are going to be employees, but you want to hire employees that have an entrepreneurial spirit. But with that being said, the people you hire, partner with, do business with, go into partnership with, they're supposed to make your life easier. They're not supposed to take from you. They're supposed to add to you. If you hollering at somebody who's doing marketing and they're supposed to create a website that closes and they never closed before, or they have no real experience at closing at a high level, or they suck at it, how are they then going to build a website that closes customers for you so you can then be at home minding your business and still be making money 24 hours a day? Because you know what 50 Cent said? You ain't making money till you're making it in your sleep. And social media that works to recruit customers, websites and emails that close customers, they allow you to make money in your sleep. That way, you don't have to worry about inflation. You don't have to worry about high gas prices. And it's all relative. It all is relative to wherever you are. So maybe you're not closing the $20,000, $30,000 deals. Maybe you're not getting the 5-figure deals. Maybe you're only doing lotions or T-shirts or whatever. But if you get somebody who's buying 20 T-shirts because it's their family reunion, or they're buying 20 polos for their company, or they're buying them for a girls trip, they probably know other people who are taking girls trips. They probably know other people who run businesses. They probably know other people who are having their family reunions, or people who know people who are in charge of booking all that stuff. So now you get the good customer. The good customer leads you to the person who books their travel. The person who books their travel then gives you some referrals of other people who are taking these family trips so that you can then build out a pipeline of business each and every year because those people want T-shirts. And it is a great service for that particular travel agent to provide. So again, you want to go with the people who can get you more people, whether through referral or whether because their work is so great that it helps you achieve your goal. But if the thing that is keeping you from doing that, my sister, my brother, my friend, my pal, is because you won't pick up the phone consistently enough, that's on you. If the reason you're not doing it is because you're afraid to give up some of the control or you're afraid to spend some money, that's on you. Don't be afraid to spend the money. Figure out how to spend the money the right way. You know, Figure out how to structure a deal that says, okay, here's how much I'm gonna give you up front. Here's how much, if we hit our sales goal, I'll give you on the back end, and keep your word. That way the people work harder because there's something on the back end for them. You know, or if you're going to enter into a partnership, man, Get it going, you know, because every day you wait is a day you waste. You know, if you say, "Hey, man, I want to have a partner that is great for 10 days," that's 10 days that you could have had a partner that was great that you didn't have the experience and the benefit of having a partner that was great. Because again, in an ideal world, in your fantasy, you go, you do your little pitch meeting, and I'm sorry to call it little, but you go do your pitch meeting, and they love you, and there's no competition, and there's no red tape, and you get to check the same day, and you're off to Paris. In real life, people are going to A, look for the best price, see you all as the same, and then take their time about making a decision. That's how it happens in real life. Okay. You're a marketer, you're a website designer, you're a coach. They're gonna say all y'all the same. So let me go for which one's the cheapest. And then once they get the one that's the cheapest, then it's like, huh, I get to it tomorrow, I get to it the next day. Okay, I'm gonna get back to you. When secretly in the back of their mind they're trying to figure out if they can find somebody cheaper. But cheaper does not always guarantee the best result. Cheaper does not always guarantee the solution to your problem. Cheaper might actually create another problem, and it is your job to make sure that you let people know that. Like how did you make the decision on who's going to do your website? Did you go who's the cheapest? Okay. Because if it's supposed to close, the person who can make money for you with building a website probably isn't going to be cheap. So now, yes, you have the website, but it doesn't close. So basically, you didn't have any return on investment. It was cheap though. Person who's writing your emails, do they know how to close customers? Because there's no closing of the customers. There's no wealth transfer. So yeah, they might only charge you $250 a month, but that's $250 that you didn't get any sales from. So it's $250 that just basically blew in the wind. Same thing. We got a person managing my social media. Okay, but can they make the post better? Can they make it more appealing to your customers? Can they put you in a position to turn people who don't know you into people who know of you, and then ultimately into people who want to know you and do business with you? Because if they can't, it's wasted money. Yeah, it was cheap, but it was wasted money because it didn't bring you back any return on investment. So again, cheap is not always better, and you have to communicate that when you're sitting down with somebody. Yeah, you probably could get a caterer for $100. What the presentation gonna look like? What quality food gonna look like? Okay, and how is that gonna make people look at you? You know, again, how is that going to make people look at you? And if you need people to see you in a positive light and respect you, and ultimately you want to impress people, the cheapest probably is not the way to do it. Again, the cheapest haircut. Really, you trying to close this interview? You trying to take these photos, and you're gonna go with the cheapest guy? Okay, that line is probably not gonna be as crisp. You know, they probably don't have the same skill set to give you all the highlights and the additional treatments that you need to have that super crispy, fresh glow for your photo shoot or for your job interview. So yeah, it was cheaper, but it cost you the job. Yeah, it was cheaper, but it cost you a chance at the girl of your dreams. Yeah, it was cheaper, but it didn't solve your problem. So again, your job is to let the client know, yeah, you might be looking for somebody cheaper, but somebody cheaper really isn't going to help you solve your problem. Hey man, you're going to find way cheaper than me. I absolutely guarantee it. You're going to find somebody to look at that website and be like, yeah, that looks good. I think that'll work. knowing that they've never sold anything, so how would they know that it's not going to work? They just going, oh, it looks good. No, yeah, you're going to hire somebody to do all of these things for you and partner with people who are going to do all these things for you that they've never done, and it's going to be cheap, but they're going to be great people with great skill sets. Highly unlikely. You need people. Hell, you need the same people that the music industry has. And I know this is a weird transition, but you need those kinds of people that the music industry has. Music industry sales have been lagging. So what happens? People sit in the room and they say, "Well, how can we get sales up?" Well, let's have Drake go against Kendrick. Let's be beef. Let's do beef. Fake beef. you know. So now you got Drake against Kendrick. Both of their algorithms are just jumping through the roof. Their spins are going up. And guess what? They're making money for the company that they work for because the spins are going up. Some guy had a bright idea to do something again that's already been done before, like take two of the hottest rappers and pit them against each other so that we can make money off of it. I don't know what Drake's share is. I don't know what Kendrick's share is, but I know that Spotify's happy. I know that YouTube's happy because they're selling more ads. I know the record companies are happy because they're getting their cut of all of this money that comes from the spins. Now for Drake and Kendrick, does that translate into more money? I don't know. But you're a business owner, so you need to think like the business. So if you can find people who can come up with a really great idea, like putting two people against each other in a fake beef, and it's going to make you some money, and it's going to help you protect your kids, and it's going to help you be there for your family, it's going to help fund those vacations, because that's what it's doing for those people. That's how they get those yachts. Then you see the benefit of it. So again, the fake beef, and I'm calling it a fake beef because I mean, what are we really beefing about? You live in Toronto and he live in L.A. or New York now. I don't know. One of the records said he was in New York, but again, if you create the fake beef and it makes the record label a whole lot of money and it makes YouTube and Spotify a whole lot of money, and some of that money trickles down to Drake and Kendrick because people have an interest in them. I think Kendrick has a project coming out, and I know Drake has some coming out every summer. So, man, it's helping them too. It's helping everybody but you. So again, man, this has been another episode of Successful Marketing and Sales and Relationships for small business owners, adult small business owners and entrepreneurs. I am your business big bro, Sadon Long, aka the most dangerous man in marketing, aka Mr. Better Than Your 401k. Make sure that you go over to growingrich.com and click the Just Get Started button to get a free 30 with me. And man, we'll really sit down and chop it up. And anything that you make from a conversation that we had, you get to keep. And I don't get none of it because the call's free. Can't really think of a better way to end the show than that. I love you. It has been an honor sitting before you as always, and I'm out.